Okay, so we've got. I'm going to speak to Liam first because we've had Simon before. Liam, welcome to the show. It's our 45th show.
Thank you for having me.
Liam, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'll start by introducing myself as me. End of the day, I'm a solicitor, but I'll come on to that in a moment. So, I've been a staunch supporter of the military veterans for a long time. My father, at the age of 16, got me into the Royal British Legion. I started out as a standard bearer. I've done that for nearly 14 years before I gave it up to pursue other things. I've been a secretary of a RBL branch for a long time, treasurer of an RBL group as well. So I've been part of that sort of military background from there for a long time, and that's very much thanks to my father, who is an ex-Royal engineer. My grandparents were both coily, and my present sister is presently serving as a medic. So I've got a strong military background, and for me, I'm very much all about trying to support veterans in my day-to-day life as much as I can, and then now I want to try and do that through my work as well. If I can do that, I will, and hopefully today I can talk to some of your viewers about dispelling myths that maybe are going around at the minute, trying to understand what's going on in the UK at the minute with lawyers and the military, and give people a good idea of those things. Any questions you guys might have about any of those areas, I'm more than willing to try and give you as much information as I can.
Yeah, if you don't mind, that's absolutely great. We were talking, Liam, and I asked you a question about people who are suffering with problems having served. They're meant that they've been medically discharged,
Yeah.
And you gave me an answer which really surprised me. So can you just explain something of that?
Yeah, so in terms of medical discharge in the military, if that does occur, and there are issues in particular that have occurred before that medical discharge, especially if there's any wrongdoing on the part of the MOD in particular, then that wrongdoing wants putting right, and that's how we very much see it. If anybody's had injuries, any sort of then mental health repercussions, be it PTSD or whatever type of condition, then if it started to occur, especially whilst you were serving or you were on the road to being discharged, then we'd like to think of a course to that and something that can be done from our point of view. And I think something I said to you is that a lot of people looking at this might see me as a disease solicitor, somebody that deals with all sorts of different injuries. It is a bit of see it as ambulance chasing. We look at that sort of a way of looking at it. And I think I said to you, the one thing that we try to dispel is that the only way these wrongs can be put right is by money. There's no way they can turn back the clock and make the things that happen
That's right.
go away. There's no way that can be done. So the only way we can do that is by money to help you, your family, and your family beyond that, your children, your grandchildren, whatever might be the case, have an easier future because of what happened, and because that money can hopefully then assist you in the future, veterans in the future. That's what we want. And yeah, that's our view of it. And a lot of our people, as we say, we are real people. Whilst we're lawyers, we're solicitors, etc., we are real people, and we care about the people we work for. We can only work for them if they're happy to work with us. That's something we really want to try and push out there, that we want to help veterans at the end of the day. Even if it's that we can't do anything in the end, we want to hear them out. We want to talk to them. We want to understand their story and their position.
Yeah, because one of the things that you said to me, which really resonated with me, was that you would speak to people as humans rather than as solicitors, because you've got that background. So veterans are human beings, and that's often lost. That you have divorce, you have wills, you have all the normal things, but they can be a little more complex, and that's you can deal with that from the veteran view perspective. Is that right?
Exactly. we've dealt with veterans for years already, not in the volumes that we're dealing with them now, but we've dealt with them for years on all sorts of different matters from all different walks of life, be it, post-military service. So we, no matter the background, be it veteran or otherwise, the people we talk to are people first, and it's about their issues and understanding from their worldview what has gone on and why they need our help and assistance. And we want to make sure we do that for everybody that we speak to. Whether if we can't help them and they get what we consider initial advice from us, we don't charge for anything like that. They get initial advice, we can't help them. They go away in the knowledge of why we can't help, but if we can, we will. On a hopefully a human basis that everybody can understand, and that's what we want to try and do. And don't get me wrong, a lot of our matters that we deal with, they have ongoing care and treatment throughout the life of any matter we have with them in a lot of cases. So we see a lot of people get better from whatever condition they may have, as much as they can. And like you say, myself having a lot of family in the military, and done a lot of military charities over the years, we have an ex-medic who works in our psychiatric injury department as well. So we've got a fair few of us that have got backgrounds in military. RMD has, I think, a brother in the military as well. So we want to help that community at the end of the day.
What the whole purpose of Front Foot is, we get people jobs, but we support them on the back end as well. And that's why, legal support is part of life.
Yeah, not being funny, part of our job is if people have lost their jobs, they're out of work, often they're in dire straits a lot of the time, and the money that we can hopefully get them can assist them. It doesn't come straight away, but it comes in the end, and hopefully they can then benefit from that. And the families can benefit from that. Exactly. So some of them certainly are. Especially there's a lot that are. Some are just simply, I'm glad that I got something for what happened to me. It puts, you don't often get admissions of guilt, but it feels like that when people get what they deserve. They get that sum of money that can then help them, or they get that completion of a family matter that needs to be dealt with. Get a bit of sense of justice from it sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I know that you do the normal. I'm not saying normal; they're not normal, but the hearing loss. We're talking about the equivalence of asbestosis from what was it?
So you've got obviously the hearing one is the big one at the moment, and if anybody is listening to this and dealing with a hearing matter, do proceed. We do carry on with it. Hopefully you get something out of it in the end, and we deal with those as well quite heavily at the minute. But there's all sorts that have gone on. So people exposed to asbestos that's been in old bunkers and things like that on military service, and then it's 25 to 35 years any latency period for anything like that to develop into a condition. Some that can unfortunately kill you within 12 to 18 months if you get mesothelioma, for example.
But didn't you say something about silicon? Wasn't there a silicon base?
Yeah, the silica dust that causes significant issues to your lungs, again, major breathing issues. Usually that'd be somebody that was a trade in the military that's probably using things like that, but there are other things as well. We've had very recent inquiries of things like people degreasing parachutes and some of the things from there causing them issues in later life, issues with equipment. There's all sorts that's gone on in the past that hopefully we can help with.
We've got a question. We've got a question for you. John wants to ask a question.
Liam, you're signed up to the Armed Forces Covenant. So, what do you work with other Armed Forces support like groups and stuff like that?
We do have, obviously through Front Foot, we're working with their support groups in particular. We're going to get in touch with a lot of those, and we're going to start to work with them to provide our services. We mainly joined the Armed Forces Covenant in the first instance because we wanted to try and employ veterans. So we wanted to bring people into the company to help with veteran services and the rest of it. But we are now very much pushing with Front Foot to get out in the community and help more armed forces face to face, be that simple discussion, simple chats, or then something more serious. But yes, we are pushing more of our role without the armed forces in the community now more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, things like breakfast clubs and the RBLI and walking with the wounded, and all those things are being pushed out now.
And forget my company. Personally, I'm part of the RBL for a long time. I raise for Poppy Appeal every year, and I'm very much part of the local group. If anybody ever looks, everybody near South Yorkshire. I've worked with a group that's called the Hoyland Remembrance and Parade Group. My father runs the parade every year. I assist him in getting that parade safely down. Busy time of the year for all of us. We're all getting ready for Sunday. It's going to be hopefully another good one. Hopefully get some dry weather and good turnout. But that aside, I've done that myself for a long time, so it's all really important to us.